Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Stardust Discovery Channel. And my name is Adaeze Ibik, aka Astro-Princess. If this is the first time joining us, you're welcome. This channel is all about providing wholesome content to you about our universe using physical concepts. So we're talking a lot about astronomy, about physics, but in a simple way. So make sure you subscribe. Get glued if you care to know the answer to a lot of questions that you asked yourself from childhood and you're still asking yourself and you've not found answers. Right, so today I thought I should go back and take us to the basics. So as I was making some couple of videos in the past, I discovered that I kept on talking about light. And it dawned on me that it's possible that people do not understand what I meant. So I decided to make this video exclusively to shed light on the concept of light. What do I mean by light? So today's topic really is about electromagnetic energy. So electromagnetic energy or electromagnetic radiation, the simple way to say that is light. Another word for light is electromagnetic energy. So today I would try to give us some background information that will be useful so that when next I say light, you know what I mean. Okay, so let's take it one day at a time. Have you subscribed to this channel? You need to make sure you do so that whenever I share a new video, you will be the first to know about it. Turn on your notification button. And if you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like, comment. I really look forward to your questions in the comment section. Okay, so electromagnetic energy is really a form of energy that is made from combination of electric and magnetic, just as the name goes, electric energy and magnetic energy. So when the two of them are coupled together, we get electromagnetic energy. I'll keep it as that. However, why are we, hearing about light? What is this light? Is it the light bulb in my room? Is it the fire that my firewood is producing while I'm cooking? Is it the light that my torchlight is producing? Is it the sunlight? There are so many forms of light. So which one exactly are we talking about here? So listen, all of those lights, they all fit into this light we're talking about. They fit into the electromagnetic energy. So which will lead me to the next thing I want to talk about, something called the electromagnetic spectrum. So there is a spectrum, which is a range of energies that actually make up this electromagnetic energy. So they have a range that is characterized by their different colors. So I will use colors to signify them. So the very red color, so when things are like orange, yellow, red, they get redder. While things like green, blue, violet, indigo, all of those you can eat, so they are kind of blue. So I will consider a very long spectrum where the one end of it, where you have short wavelength and high frequency light, to be our very blue parts. Those are really high energy. So note what I said: short wavelength, high frequency, blue parts, and they are high energy. Whereas the under end of the spectrum will be things that are low energy. They are redder because they have really, really long wavelengths. So with those comparison, you can refer to certain things as bluer colors because they have high energy. Some things are redder colors because they have low energy. Okay, so if you grasp that concept, then it will take us to the next thing, which is important, to know the different colors. So we have the radio wave. I'm starting with the lowest energy, microwave, the infrared light, the visible light, ultraviolet light, X-rays, and gamma rays. So these are all of the spectrum colors. Gamma rays representing the very high energy end. Radio waves is the lowest energy end. Okay, so with this in mind, we will now take them one after the other. The radio waves, the microwaves, the infrared waves. There are different objects that emit all of the spectrum, and that would help you to understand what that energy looks like. So for example, we'll soon learn that radio waves, is the reason why you are able to transmit your television station, some of the network and channels that you use, your phones, and so many other things. I will be saying some of those in a short while. Then the microwave, I'm sure some of you are already used to warming your food with the microwave appliance. Now that appliance uses the microwave radiation. We also have the infrared, which all of us emit. As you are watching this video, you are emitting the infrared. Why? Because you have some temperature. Anything that is hot emits infrared, including your cooker, including the firewood, cooking the food. Anything that is warming you up is producing infrared radiation. So visible light, I will be talking about this in a minute as well. Visible light is the reason why we are able to see around our environment and be able to navigate life. Really, that you are able to see me as you're watching this video is because of the visible light. I will talk about that shortly. Ultraviolet light. Now we are getting to high energy. Some of these lights, you don't often interact with them because they are not so good. They are harmful, but we do use them for some other important, reasons. So they are high energy. We also have X-rays. Some of you already understand X-ray because you use that to check your bones and fractions. And the gamma rays, the gamma radiation is on the other end of the high energy. Now those are also not common, in our day-to-day life. Now I would like to think about why I should know about these things. Why should I care? Now, like I said, our entire existence revolves around the electromagnetic spectrum. Sounds weird, right? However, we are going to see about that. So now just think about for your vision. I just talked about visible light. You are not able to see me if not for the visible light. Now, the visible light is made up of some colors. I'm sure you know the rainbow colors. Those rainbow colors represent the colors of the visible light, just as you can see on the screen. Now, the blue to the red, all of those together are called the visible light. And there is a reason why that is, the only one that we are able to use our naked eye to see. I'll be talking about that in a bit. However, I'm trying to, emphasize that they are so important. Imagine that you're not able to see all the people around you. You can't see your loved ones. You can't even get your food. You cannot go to work. How do we survive? Even microorganisms, other living things depend on this to see. How incredible, right? It is one of those important principles that govern everything actually in our lives. So it is that important. Now, when we get into other importance like communication, so the fact that you're watching this video is because some radio waves are transmitting it to you. You're not able to use internet. You're not able to use Wi-Fi because If you don't have radio waves, there is no way you will get Wi-Fi, internet connection. There is no way your internet will work. All of these things are interconnected. All of these things depend on one of the spectrum, the radio waves. In fact, many of you today use this phone, and some of them are smartphone. The reason why all of these things are working is because of the radio waves, which is part of the electromagnetic spectrum. Today's technology cannot, function without the electromagnetic radiation. There are so many things happening. There are so many gadgets. All of these things uses the spectrum to work. Even in our medical system, I've mentioned that earlier, you now use X-ray to check your bone. Even magnetic resonance imaging, some of you know what is MRI. You use these things as well. Now, imagine a world without electromagnetic radiation. I've talked about cooking, talked about, some other aspects like electricity. Now, I want you to take a deep breath. There is one important one that I have not mentioned. Every day we experience this one. In fact, we use it to determine day and night. The sun. So the sun shines upon us. In fact, whenever it comes up, we declare it as day break. And in the afternoon, we get the most intense radiation from it. So what do you call that light? First of all, there are so many spectrum coming from the sun, so many spectrum of this electromagnetic radiation. Some of it don't get in, some get in, like the one that enable you to see during the day. That is the visible light. Without that one, you can't see. You would have had the very dark world. But the visible part of that spectrum is the reason why we are able to see, and that one gets in. We also have other part of the spectrum that gets in, like the radio part, but there are some that don't get in, they get blocked. And we'll be talking about that in one of the videos. Why do they get blocked? What gets them blocked? And you will find out how amazing our system and how very planned and organized the universe is, really. So, but for now, just want to highlight that the sun is a major source of electromagnetic energy that we experience on Earth every now and then. And these days, people even convert the radiation from the sun to produce electricity that they use in their houses and for so many other things, solar power, solar panels, and all kinds of things like that. Yeah, that is only possible because this radiation coming from the sun is light. That is light. Okay. Now, the other aspect I will talk about, the importance of this, is something I share a very deep connection with, because that is what I do when I study the objects in space. The only reason I could study them is because they are all emitting this electromagnetic radiation. Now, my eyes can see some, just like you see the night sky. There are so many objects out there. You see some planets, you see stars and galaxies, a band of the Milky Way. However, how do we see the other things the eyes cannot see? I'll be talking about that in a bit. But this is what I do. We use high-performing instruments to see in the other wavelengths, and this different information mixed together to give us information about that object we are looking at. So the different wavelengths or different colors of light gives you different types of information that complements themselves about a particular object. So more like a puzzle, so you fix them together and you'll figure something out. Isn't that interesting? So that exactly is, for scientific purposes. We can't do our science without electromagnetic energy. All right. If you have been enjoying this video up till now, do not forget to subscribe, like this channel, and share the video. Most importantly, let people that care about some of this information, let them know. If anybody's struggling with understanding some simple concepts, make sure they come to this channel. Invite them, subscribe, share the videos all the time. I believe that it will be addressing a lot of your problems, especially the students among you. And even if you're not a student, just you need to understand your environment and why things are the way they are. It's not nice to be an onlooker. Okay, so the other part of this topic I would like us to think about is, why are we not able to see some wavelengths? Why don't we see the gamma radiation, for example? Why don't we see ultraviolet radiation? This radio waves I'm even talking about, why have I not seen it? Yes, I know it's powering telephones. I know it's the reason we have Wi-Fi, but why have I not seen Wi-Fi network? All right. Now, this is interesting because I will be talking about this very soon. But there are so many things that happen around us that we do not see, but we have evidence that they exist. So maybe you start by believing the evidence. So many things. The evidence is so strong. When I show it to you, you have no other option than to agree. Now, let's take it one step at a time. The visible light. I mentioned that you can see that with your naked eye. Why are we even able to see it? It's because the human eye has something called the photoreceptor cells. So it's part of our makeup. So those cells allow us to see these visible parts. It interprets the light as colors. The brain interprets it as colors and tell us what it is we are looking at. So when you're looking at, let's say, a red balloon, the only reason you say it's a red balloon is because your brain interpreted the color or the light coming from there as red. Who knows, if you decide to look with another wavelength, it may not be red anymore. Let's assume you use another equipment that can, visualize in another wavelength that is not a visible wavelength. That color will no longer be red. You will see it something else. So that is how it is. You are only able to see what you are configured to see, right? And this is why we develop instruments that are able to see the other wavelength that our eyes cannot see. So if you want to convince yourself that there are radio waves, why don't you visit a radio telescope one of these days? Because you will see a lot of interesting objects. I have some of them. I probably bring it up one day. A lot of interesting objects that we have seen with the radio. And I will be talking about these things in subsequent video. Apart from the fact that you are able to make calls, I've said it, what you cannot see, but you can see the evidence. Maybe start by believing the evidence. You're able to make calls because of this, even though you cannot see it. But the fact that you made call is a proof that it is there. If it's not there, you can't make that call. You cannot make that call. So let's start from there. And I have put this video to show you what it looks like. These radiations, they are invisible. They transmit through space. Even while you are seated there, a lot of them are passing through your body, coming out through your nose, going all over the place, because we have filled the world with a lot of technology. So these radiations are even more than before. So we have a lot of them all around. And in some of the coming videos, I will try to prove to you, hopefully we will be able to prove this to you. But maybe start by believing the effects on the things around you and on yourself as well. All right. And then I would like to end it here for today. Feel free to ask your question in the comment section, and send me direct email if you wish. Let me know what you learned in the comment section, and I look forward to seeing your comments. However, do not forget to share this video to everyone who would benefit from it, and then subscribe, turn on your notification button, and I will see you in our next one. Thank you. Bye bye.